Jack Smart. I'm the movie staffer at People Magazine. I'm so delighted to be joined today by, let's start off with writer-director Sophie Brooks. Actor Logan Lerman. And actor-producer Molly Gordon. Congratulations to you three on this lovely, delightful, original, complicated film. I can't wait to ask you about it. Can I start with you? I want to get into, of course, like the origins of this movie, but can I actually start with the title?
Yes.
Where does something as I don't know, idiosyncratic as Oh Hi, like, come up?
Well, originally the film was set in Ojai, California, and then for budgetary reasons we shot in upstate New York.
No way.
It was also beautiful. And yeah, I think it was there was a double meaning, and we decided it would be High Falls, New York, and there would be this miscommunication of Iris thinks it's Ojai, Isaac thinks it's High Falls. But it's also the idea of when you meet someone new at the beginning of a relationship, it feels like on repeat you're introducing yourself, and it's a little bit of this like, oh hi, oh hi, oh hi, this is who I am, right? So a little bit of a double meaning, and once you fall in love with the title, it's kind of hard to shift. So even though we moved to upstate New York, we made it work with spelling mistake on the sign.
Falling in love with the title, yeah, I love that. The origins, this was born in the pandemic, correct?
Yeah.
There was a call with your agent, and then there was a call with Molly.
There was a call with my agent, and then there was a face-to-face meeting with Molly. Yeah. Yeah, my agent prompted me to come up with an idea for a movie that could shoot during COVID with limited locations and limited actors. And about 5 minutes after that phone call, I came up with the seed of the idea, which was couple takes trip away together. He breaks up with her, she holds him captive. And I was like, ooh, that's kind of fun. And Molly and I have been friends for many years, and we were in a COVID pod together of about 2 people. And me and her. And I told her the idea, and she immediately sparked to it, and we spent a weekend working on the story, and then I wrote the first draft in like a 2.5-week fever dream in my childhood bedroom.
And I am tempted to ask if the childhood bedroom had anything to do with that, but maybe not.
I definitely felt trapped.
Oh, okay, amazing. And then how did it evolve from there? And I'm curious, especially about the casting. Like, where did these two come in terms of fitting with the characters? And then I want to ask you two how you fit with these characters.
Well, obviously, the role was written for Molly as we developed it together, and I'd never written for an actor before, and it was so fun to write in her voice and know all of her strengths and to collaborate on the character and the story and all of these pieces. Like, I know that Molly has a beautiful voice, and it was so exciting to be like, oh, she can sing. That could be something that we could do. And then Logan was the last kind of piece of our puzzle. Logan came into this project in January of 2024, and once he signed on, we were kind of off to the races, and we shot the movie about 6 months later, a year ago now.
And for you two, like, where did these characters resonate? Like, it's an uncomfortable question because there's some uncomfortable things happening with them. But where are you drawing from your own lives to play them?
Yeah, sure. Hello. Thanks for coming out tonight. Wow, yeah, I'm much more of an Iris than I am an Isaac. This was a cathartic experience for me to kind of go, what's Isaac like? What's driving this like, flight response? And I thought that was a really interesting character. But all in all, it was just a great script, and I was like, this is a movie I really want to see, and I want to be a part of it. And I loved the conflict in every scene, and the writing was so it was vibrant. It was great. It's just really well written, and I knew that I wanted to be a part of it because of that. As a whole, outside of just like the selfishness of like liking your character and those things, or finding it interesting enough to want to explore it for several months.
I mean, it was just such a gift to have a space to kind of explore all the bad dating experiences that I've had. And I'm thankful to all the people that have been mean to me that allowed me to be here today. And yeah, I think Sophie and I talk about it all the time, but when men are looking for love, it's like attractive and sexy, but when a woman is looking for love, it's desperate. So it was just fun to kind of think of those tropes, and then yeah, as an actress, like I've never gotten to stretch out in this way and kind of, think, okay, if I was 5% crazier, what would I do? Like, obviously I would never do this, but I do think, I'm sure we've all felt at times in our life, like, I just wish that I could trap this person to have this conversation because they don't want to have this last talk of this closure conversation, or, oh, if they knew this about me, maybe then they would love me. When in truth, they just don't like you.
Yeah, sometimes it's that simple.
Yeah.
It wouldn't make for very much drama if it was just
No.
that. I'm so glad you said the thing about 5% crazier, because I want to have, it's a very loaded word, crazy, but I think Iris as a character, and especially in your performance, Molly, is both, I see the craziness and I see the total normalcy. Like, she seems like completely a believable person that is in our lives. How did you both like navigate, we don't want it to tip into absurdity and cartoon character, and we don't want it to tip into like boring everyday, not dramatic?
Well, I don't think anything that Molly's in could be boring because she's so charismatic and dynamic, so that was helpful. But I think, it's, as Molly was saying, it's very relatable to be pushed to a spot where you feel like you're losing your mind, even if you aren't. And it's kind of a perfect storm for the character. She was drinking whiskey, she's up all night, she's done a doom scrolling. Her mom's like, just don't let him leave. She's kind of getting all the worst advice, and also like turning to the internet for her guidance. And actually, fun fact, the podcast that Molly listens to in the movie that encourages her to stay with him is the voice of Molly's real life mother. And so she's listening to her mother and her mother.
Whoa.
But I think like that feeling of feeling crazy is something that men and women and anyone can relate to in moments, and sometimes you just need a little bit of a perfect storm. So that's where Iris lands.
But also it's like because we're such close friends, I think Geraldine's character comes in to also go, you are crazy, but I love you, because we're all a little bit crazy, and I feel like in my friendships with Soph, like, I've called her, and I'm sure been insane, and she's like, all right, I love you, I accept you, you have to calm down, because you're not too crazy for the right person. We're all a little too much.
Yeah, it is a kind of a friend rom-com in that way. Can I ask how, as actors, you both, this notion of like, well, I'm gonna take my own life experiences, but I'm gonna turn up a knob, in this case, a crazy knob. Is that also something that you do as actors?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, it's kind of hard. I mean, not hard not to. It's what you mine from is your own experience, and you're bringing yourself to the scenes, and yeah. But at the end of the day, it's the writing on the page, it's the words that are there, and you're just show up knowing them and hope you connect with the feeling that day, and that's really it.
Is there improv in this movie? There is.
Yeah, for sure. We did a lot of improv. I mean, it was a fully written script, but I really love working with actors who are down to play around, and there were certain parts of the script that we had written in, like, Iris tells her life story, Molly improvises,
Gotcha.
and that whole sequence was improvised. But even within scenes that were more precise and a little more delicate, we still had a lot of fun playing around with them and finding magic on the day.
That's what I think for any writer director, especially for indie film, the evolution of a script from idea to on the page to in the room, things really change. I want to ask each of you, like, what was the biggest surprise during filming? Like, what shocked you, or what maybe really changed the course of a scene, or of I don't know, the conception of the whole movie itself?
I mean, I think just when we were actually shooting that scene where Logan says that he doesn't think we're together, it was just so outrageous to me. And we had come up with this so long ago, but I was like, this is fucking insane. Like, and this happens to my friends and I all the time. These people are crazy. And I was like, and we had shot the scene where he, went down on me at the end of the day, and I was like, this is insane. And it felt so real, and new things came out of that, and new anger. And Logan also, because he was like, I agree with you. I was like, yeah, you're fucking annoying. But also just having Logan, come into the fold and bring so much humanity to Isaac also changed, the course of the script, because Sophie had done so much work on that character throughout the years, but also we are two girls and it's our perspective. So, having a guy come in and be like, let's make sure that this still feels like someone that we all know, and yeah, I mean, I think the coolest part about the movie has been like people feeling seen by that character, not just mine.
What about you, Logan?
Yeah, I mean, and particularly like that moment too, where the movie takes like a left turn there. It was interesting, how, just how like hurtful it was too. Like how it felt like really, like it really stung when we started like rehearsing it. We were like, oh my god, this really is like, it hurts. It was interesting, like in that moment.
Yeah.
Versus just like reading it and going through it and it being kind of funny on the page. And when you're rehearsing it, it's a whole different tone. But when you're really with, a great actor in the room and delivering it, it really feels, like it had some punch. But I feel like there's always like every day there's a surprise. There's something you find in these scenes when you're present in them, and that maybe you didn't notice until that moment when you're just like really in that flow state, kind of feeling it. And that's what you hope for every day. And I feel like we really hit that. And when we were making it, at least, like we spent the entire time together. We would work together, right back, rehearse every day, have dinner, and talk about this. And every day, I was a little annoying, but we'd have like a great day, and we get in the car, and be like, that was wonderful, and I'd be like, let's hope we find it tomorrow.
Yeah, he never was satisfied. I was like, do you think today went well? He's like, I hope tomorrow goes well.
I was like, I hope so, tomorrow. Because you have to hit it every day and hope you connect with that feeling. So it was a really great experience in that regard, because I feel like we put the work in, and it felt like it was like we were finding things every day. We felt like we were really exploring it to its fullest.
And we had a real, professional actor join us on this small movie, and it was the first day we were like, oh wow, we've gotten Logan Lerman and tied him up upstate. This is insane. And yeah, Logan signing on was such a game changer, and especially having, a guy support a female director and getting us to actually make this movie and now have it be at an AMC, like, it takes actors like him to kind of push forward these more original ideas.
Yeah, Sophie, in terms of surprises for you, like I'm curious, if you are writing mostly, I'd say safe to say from Iris's perspective, what did you learn, or what will you take with you from kind of having to create characters on both sides of this equation?
Well, I always wanted it to feel balanced, and I never wanted I wanted Isaac to be a real person, and most people have nuance, and most people, even if they're pushing love away, ultimately want it. So it was very important to me that we, showed his backstory, and the movie does go to his perspective for the dream sequence and the ball scene. Sorry, I just fully blacked out. And the ball scene.
So drunk.
I'm
so
absolutely hammered right now.
Jet lag.
Absolutely
True
hammered.
jet lag, but I'm blackout drunk. No, I'm completely sober. Yeah. So, and the second act kind of shifts between their perspectives. But I thought it was important for the first act for us to really be in Iris's perspective, because you want that shift to feel significant, and if we're clued in too much to Isaac's point of view in the first act, then we wouldn't have been surprised.
Yeah.
Whereas in Iris's perspective, when he says he doesn't want a relationship, we're like, what the is going on?
Yeah, I love that. And to your point, everyone is nuanced, and that's why in nuance there's flaws. Like, we're all flawed humans. Like, I want to ask Logan, or I guess both actors, it's been said actors shouldn't judge their characters, that then creates a distance between themselves and their characters. They can't like fully immerse. And then like, what is your take on a character's flaws, the negative parts, the parts of a character that the audience might judge?
That's interesting. I definitely judged him. I really did. I thought, but why? You know, and it was interesting to explore why he was the way he was in the story, and I had a lot of empathy for him because it's great. They had a great thing going. You know, it's like there's that frustrating thing. I mean, yeah, it's funny because I gotta play that role, but I was also on your side going like, why are you doing this? No, but I had a lot of empathy for him. I think he was dealing with a lot of things and needed to grow. He wasn't in the right place to be in a relationship, and I was like, it's an interesting person to explore. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was such a gift to get to play someone that I judged a bit. Like, I think there just aren't that many female characters because they're like, she's unlikable. So it was so cool that I was like, I don't agree with what I'm doing in this scene, but that's such a gift that Sophie gave me that, because I feel like I've more played the like girlfriend or the daughter that's like, Dad, you're crazy. And so it was just, I've never gotten an opportunity like this, and you know, I'm not a perfect person, and I'm very flawed, and all my friends are, and it's like, that's real life. So I hope that I can continue to play characters that, you know, that's where all the juicy things lie in art and these complicated people.
I absolutely agree. Can I ask, I know we have to wrap soon, can I just throw in like a worst dating experience? In the vein of this movie, like something that really, I don't know, comes to mind watching it or came to mind in the making of it. I can go first if you need me to.
Yeah, you go first,
Yeah,
and then
please.
we'll go down.
I was dating a man, and then I got a call from my friend who told me her friend was also dating that man.
Oh.
And I did not know that man was dating other women. That was probably my worst. I laugh at it now. Luckily I wasn't in love with him, but I was like, what a fun way to find out that the man you're seeing is seeing another woman for your friend.
That sounds like the exact thing that's fuel, right? That's artistic
Totally,
fuel.
definitely some inspiration came from that 100%. And then I was like, I'm gonna send a really intense text message. And then I did, and then I blocked him.
Maybe it's a Sundance movie from that inspiration. Who's next?
You have one.
You remember that?
This is so personal. Did I
You
mention
have
people
to,
next?
you have to humanize yourself. Come on, Logan.
Yeah, I think you're like bad dates. I don't know. I'm so sorry. I don't know. I don't know. Huh? Do you remember something I told you?
But I,
You can share it.
well, I grew up here. This is Logan at my local mall,
I grew up one
so it's
block
crazy
away.
to.
Also mine.
Oh, sorry, not yours.
Yeah.
And you, but
That's where I grew up.
One guy broke up with me in 9th grade because he said he was too stressed out about going to Coachella. But I feel like you don't have anything. It's all just been easy for you.
No, it hasn't been easy. It hasn't been easy, but it was nothing that bad of like a story. I don't really have like a crazy story or anything like that.
Have you flown across the country for somebody?
Yeah, I have. Okay. But that wasn't like a date.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
Like we were dating.
Okay.
Yeah, and I flew across the country for someone, and it didn't work out.
Okay.
No, but like that's not that terrible. I don't know. I wish I had a juicy like good story for it.
Yeah.
He was
I
at
have.
home, okay?
Yes.
And he met a woman, and he was underage.
Absolutely.
And she was 22.
22.
And she thought he was legal, so she bought him a drink, and then he got arrested. That's not true. I made that up. That's what
I like that.
Have you made out in this theater? Because I have.
Yeah. Oh, plenty of that. This is literally, I grew up literally 1 block away, so it's surreal being here, presenting a play. And for Q&A, and for everybody to show up tonight, it's so cool to see. I was like, oh, I wonder if there's gonna be people at this theater. I hope so. And it's really nice to see it's a packed house, so thank you.
Do you have one?
Yeah, I wish I had.
Okay, well, I remember once I went on a date with somebody who joked about having sex with my sister. Like, in theory, like, not, no, like I brought up having a younger sister, and he was like, yeah, I'd be into that. Wow, I did not know I would be sharing this. You definitely can't end on that, so before we go, what will you take away from this movie? Like, if you could take any part of the experience of making this movie into your future projects, like, in an ideal world, what would that be?
I mean, I think the gift of independent film is you get to be a lot more free creatively, and you have less kind of red tape that you have to go through, and you get to, you know, collaborate with your friends and have it be a little more spontaneous. And I hope that I do bigger movies, and I hope that I am able to maintain the feeling of intimacy you get on a smaller movie.
Love it. Beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's that. I mean, there was so much freedom on this set. It felt so, inclusive with the entire crew. Everybody could, voice an opinion, and it felt like a real group effort. And it's not always like that on some films. You're kind of kept in your box or your corner, and they bring you out when they need you. It's kind of a little bit of like an isolated experience or something like that. But we were really in it together as a team, and it was such a great crew. And that feeling, like, if you can replicate that on a huge movie, that'd be wonderful. But it's a rarity. It's not common you get to work on something like that had this feeling on set.
Wonderful.
And I disagree. I want the opposite feeling. I just hope I get to keep making original movies like what we were talking about backstage. I feel like this took so long to get made, and I think everything will still be a little bit of an uphill battle. So I hope that more movies like this will be made. I hope more come my way, and I hope that more people see them so that they can be made.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for everyone, please stay seated while we exit. Ojai is in theaters July 25.